Oh, you little bitch. Man, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of MavAttack. That hurt. First off, before we start, I want to say thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. We're celebrating, baby. If you have questions for our 10,000 subscriber Q&A coming very, very soon within the next week, week and a half, please drop them down in the comment section. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Drop down and get your... So in a fashion similar to what I did last year, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 most anticipated games of 2016. I do recognize that there are a lot of games coming out in the year 2016. Stay tuned. This is going to be a fun, chill episode of MavAttack. So sit back, relax, get a drink and some snacks, and put your feet up on a deck.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
So I haven't played Mass Effect in a really long time. I played the second and the third, never got to play the first, but the Mass Effect universe does an amazing job at bringing you in through its gameplay and story and narrative elements. I really was emotionally invested in the Mass Effect universe from 2 and 3. I love being able to, pick a mate, romance a friend, all the while building up your gear, building up your special abilities. And if you don't know what Mass Effect is, I'll kind of just briefly sum it up as a space role-playing game. It's an RPG, but it takes place in space with other alien races. It's a very expansive and vast universe. So I'm really looking forward to this next iteration of Mass Effect. It's supposed to be with a new protagonist, so we will not see Commander Shepard anymore, and in the new galaxy of Andromeda, so we're seeing a new protagonist and a whole new setting completely. So this opens up for more alien races possibly, and just tons more gameplay elements. I just can't be more excited for another Mass Effect game.
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End.
Uncharted 4 has always had a special place in my heart. Now, the gameplay of the Uncharted games has always been just very basic, run and gun, cover-based shooting and everything, but I started playing the Uncharted games when the first one came out on the PlayStation 3, and I was absolutely hooked. That was kind of like my Gears of War. Like, I never played Xbox. I was always like, I gotta find my linear third-person cover-based shooter, so Uncharted kind of filled that void for me. But Uncharted is in many ways a very good game. Graphically, it looks amazing. They don't ever skimp on graphics in Uncharted. That's always been one of the highlights of Naughty Dog's productions, not just on Uncharted, but all of their games, is very beautiful visuals. And not only that, but the narratives are usually really fun and engaging. Like I said, the gameplay is very point A to point B, but it still does a good job at capturing the character and putting you in the role of Nathan Drake. And not only that, but there is multiplayer coming to the game, which a lot of people have been hyping up. So I hope that does last, and I hope that does bring a lot of entertainment for some people. I personally don't really like the Uncharted games for the multiplayer, but from what I'm hearing from other gamers and seeing from other content creators is this Uncharted is going to have a really awesome multiplayer. I wasn't a fan of 2, was definitely not a fan of 3, so hopefully this is some good changes to come for the Uncharted series, and I am really looking forward to seeing how Nathan Drake's legacy finally comes to a close. And I just hope that everybody comes out of this okay. And I just want to say that Sullivan is my favorite character, and if something happens to him, I'm going to fucking...
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Mirror's Edge in many ways was in my top 10 games of the last generation of gaming. Something that is just so charming about this game, whether it be the nice contrast between the very white, very vibrant backgrounds and the colors that run through. I don't know whether it was the melee focused combat or, obviously the parkour and free running elements of the game. The narrative was not as strong, but I didn't expect it to be. I was still just bright-eyed fucking goofy ass gamer. I cannot be more excited for Catalyst. Now, Catalyst is a prequel to Mirror's Edge, so if you have not played Mirror's Edge, you might want to get your hands on it sometime soon before the release of this game, if you do plan on picking it up. But Catalyst is supposed to take the game, show Faith's upbringing, why she ended up being a runner, and not only that, but it's open world now. Because it is open world in the city, I want to know, like, how do you get around? Obviously, parkour, you're like, oh, fucking Mirror's Edge, you dick. I'm aware of that. I just want to know, like, since it's open world, since it's a big, expanse city, is there going to be, like, fast traveling? I don't know, but that game, boy, I'm looking forward to that game.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay, so Horizon Zero Dawn hit me like a truck. All these games that are coming out of the blue that I'm learning about or I'm playing that I never really, like, did any research about, just keep smacking me like... Horizon Zero Dawn is like a futuristic tribal warfare type of game. I guess I explained that pretty decent. I don't know, you let me know. You star as a female protagonist this time around, and there are, like, animals mixed with... They're like synthetic mixed with, like, I don't know, it's a very strange concept, but there's a lot of stealth gameplay, there's a lot of RPG elements, and there's even a video description of one of the boss enemies in the game, and there's like over like 50,000 fucking polygons and all these different moving parts on the enemy, and you can break each part down. I don't know, the game, obviously I'm gonna have gameplay on the screen so you can see it for yourself, but this is a game that I saw at E3 and I was just like, wow, that is on my radar. I have to watch the development of that game. I have to drop that money for this game. Like, you look at it and you're like, hey, let me drop some money real quick. That's this game, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Dark Souls 3.
The Souls and I have a love-hate relationship. Absolutely loved Bloodborne, absolutely loved Dark Souls 2. Tried to play Dark Souls 1 on a stream and got some really hardcore Souls players that came in and just kind of ruined my experience when I was trying to play, because I'm not a seasoned veteran at fucking Dark Souls. I don't play the game 24 hours a day. I have a life. I have you guys. I do this shit. And so I don't have time to just sit there and be, oh, you little bitch. I'm really looking forward to Dark Souls 3, not just because of the combat, you know, and the lore, because those games have some crazy ass lore, but I just really love the high difficulty spike, how your actions have consequences. So if you kind of overcompensate for a step, you'll fall off a cliff, and that's your own fault. So you have to learn from your mistakes, learn how to manipulate enemies. So for those reasons alone, Dark Souls 3 has to make it onto my list. There's also a few other games that are like Dark Souls that are coming out. Dark Souls had to take the slot.
A Hat in Time.
A Hat in Time. Okay, I'm gonna reference an earlier video on MavAttack. Just check it out real quick. If y'all want to see some gameplay, y'all want to see some actual, you know, some live commentary and some fun moments going on, I'm gonna have another video up relatively soon of me just playing through the game and enjoying myself. You can click on the screen right now for that. That should be up. So I did like a first impressions video of A Hat in Time, and this has been in development. I've been following the development for a little bit of time now, but this is one of, if not the only, 3D collectathon platformer games that I'm really looking forward to. There's a few that are being developed by smaller studios, but I like Gears for breakfast. I like what they're bringing into the game with single player co-op, all of the different worlds that you can travel to, and just the story is very quirky, it's very bright and vibrant, so I'm really liking what they bring to the table. I really want to see the return of 3D collectathon games. It's just fun. It's just fun with the floaty, bouncy music, you know, the very nice, vibrant graphics. You just smile and you just have a good time, and I really miss that about gaming. So hopefully I can actually bring the gameplay to the channel the way that I said I was going to in the first impressions video. I really do believe this is going to be one of the better games in 2016, and it's independently made. Those typically end up being the best games anyway, or the indie games. Really, I mean, independent studios that get fan funding and, you know, do all that stuff instead of having a fucking publisher like microtransactions, DLC, season content, season passes. So for that, I absolutely love A Hat in Time, and I cannot wait for its 2016 release.
Ratchet and Clank.
Alright, y'all ready for this, man? I got a confession. I only played one Ratchet and Clank game. I know. I played Up Your Arsenal, and that was it. I'm not seasoned like that.
Shut the fuck up.
I feel like this Ratchet and Clank is going to bring a lot to the table, not just with the revamping of the game, but also with the film that's coming out later on this year. Visually, absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. I can just only hope that that gameplay feels absolutely delicious. Usually in Ratchet and Clank games, there are tons and tons of weapons, tons of grinding to get bits to upgrade your weapons, Can we just take a second? But in all seriousness, I don't really have any crazy reasons why I'm looking forward to this game. It's just one of the less serious games. I love games that don't take themselves too serious, and then that either bring that taste of nostalgia or just simply bring that taste of fun to the table, which I firmly believe that this Ratchet and Clank is going to be doing for us. So be on the lookout for Ratchet and Clank, and actually all these games on the list will be on MavAttack as well, whether it be in the form of a review or gameplay or whatever we end up doing. Be on the lookout for all of these games and more in the future of MavAttack.
For Honor.
I do gotta say before I go into detail about For Honor, the Ubisoft press conference that they had presenting... You gonna text me right now while I'm doing this, man? The press conference presentation was so entertaining. It was one of the funniest, one of the most energetic, one of the most entertaining presentations that I did see at the previous E3. So for that, I applaud the studio behind For Honor. But anyway, getting to the game, it really just looks like a mix between, I don't know, like Bushido Blade and Dynasty Warriors. Like you play as different factions and you go in and it's actually sword play and you actually have to focus on what you're doing, more similar to Chivalry, I guess. Rather than Bushido. Well, Bushido Blade is a little more tactical than Chivalry, but anyway, but it looks to be something sort of similar to these games that they put you into this big old battle, storming the base with your troops, tons of NPC players around you, but it's really player versus player combat focused, and you really have to know, man, am I going hit? Where's it gonna swing? It's gonna swing from my kneecaps to my nutsack. Ding ding. So for that, I'm really looking forward to For Honor. I really love swordplay focused combat and really having to pick the right move, and hopefully you don't make the wrong decision in blocking and then going for an attack. So I'm really looking forward to For Honor. It's looking to be one of the best games of 2016, and I just can't be more excited.
Zelda Wii U.
Alright, the inclusion of this game was so hard because not only was this one on my most anticipated of 2015 list, also Uncharted was, and there were a few other games that I was looking forward to, and they actually they got delayed to 2016, so making another appearance, reoccurring again in the new video, Zelda Wii U. I love Zelda. The Zelda universe is absolutely amazing, and I think the direction that they are taking with this new Zelda, hopefully it's not too gamepad focused, but hopefully from all the early gameplay I've seen and a few hands-on impressions that I've read about, hopefully this is one of those games that just comes in and drops bombs. Like, I'm talking Wii U console sellers, because really, there's only a few other games that would really be considered Wii U console sellers. Like, I feel like if they did a Pokemon open world RPG that you can connect with friends online, that would sell Wii U consoles. There's a few different ideas and a few different games that they could bring back that I'm pretty sure, whether it be for nostalgia's sake or simply fun factor, they would sell consoles. This is one of those ones I feel like will just come and just drop like a bomb. I mean, I'm just loving what I'm seeing so far as the art style goes. You know, Link has a new look. There's just so much with the earlier impressions of the game. I'm really disappointed that it never came out in 2015, but at the same time I'm very happy because they saw that, oh, there's so much more, we have so much more to play with, there's so much more potential in this game, let's bring it back a little bit and just add more and more to it. So I really hope that these changes in this delay was well worth the wait, and I can't be more excited for another Zelda game. I absolutely love Zelda. Hit that ocarina music.
Hellblade.
And then finally, Hellblade. Now, I learned about this game in 2014, right? I'm conflicted now. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of games that I wanted to put on the list. And I will just throw a few of those names out right after this segment, but Hellblade looks like a Heavenly Sword spiritual successor or sequel. Now, the developer stated this is not a Heavenly Sword sequel. This is not going to be, but the likeness of not only the main character, which I forget what her name was like Noriko. Or what was the... No, Kai. Kai was the sidekick. Kai was the sidekick of Noriko from Heavenly Sword, which, if you don't know what Heavenly Sword is, it's a PlayStation 3 exclusive. If you never got the chance to play it, I recommend trying it out. It's like the female version of God of War. But anyway, losing focus. But Kai looks very, very similar to Heavenly Sword's sidekick character. And not only that, Heavenly Sword, Hellblade. Heaven, Hell. Sword, Blade. I almost forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. There's so many similarities, not just with that, but the gameplay that they're describing. Now, this game is slated to release on PlayStation 4 and PC. We never even heard about it in 2015, so hopefully they drop news in a game convention or just out of the blue somewhere, but I'm really looking forward to Hellblade. Now, the style of the game is very hack and slash, much similar to Heavenly Sword, or if you can think about it, Devil May Cry, because it is from the same studio that made these games. So I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm not sure if it's open world or linear, but it is a hack and slash, like killing massive amounts of enemies. I'm just looking for a very rich narrative, a very awesome and engaging combat system, and just more importantly, a very fun and interesting new IP. I'm just really looking forward to all these new IPs that are dropping here in the future, and seeing what these bring to the table. So that was pretty much my list of games that I'm looking forward to in 2016. But like I said, there are a ton of games I wish I could have put on the list that just didn't make it onto the list. Speaking of, let me just drop some of these on y'all foreheads real quick, because I need to. Now, these are some of the honorables. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Star Citizen is another one. It's currently in alpha right now, but I think they're slated to finish the game in 2016. I'm not 100%. I know most of the game will be finished in 2016, but nonetheless, this is a PC exclusive, so I'm kind of concerned because I'm like, is the Mav machine gonna be able to run it? I'm not fucking sure. Dishonored 2 is another one I'm really looking forward to. Another game that lets you play the way you want to play. I love the stealth combat and being able to just freaking assassinate people from the shadows. And then another one, I'm not gonna just go all day with these mentions. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. That game looks massive. That game looks like it's taken everything from the first one and just went, like it just ballooned it the fuck up. So I'm having so much fun with this video. There are a lot of different honorable mentions. There are a lot of different games coming out in 2016 that I wanted to put on the list. And be sure to drop yours down in the drop down into the comment section, dude. Just briefly tell me why. This is your homework assignment right now. But aside from that, I just want to say thank you guys all so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers, man. If you enjoyed this episode of MavAttack, hit that like button. That was so dramatic. All you He-Mav stay rad, and all you She-Mav stay fab, and I'll see you all on the next episode of MavAttack, motherfucker. First off, before we start, I want to say thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. Let's celebrate, baby. Oh, break good times, come on. I just broke my stitches.